Hello students, this is exercise number 92 of the legal dictations and these are the in-text words of this exercise. Delinquent, culminate, culminated, culmination, imposition, unbiased. This is the exercise number 92 of the legal dictations on the speed of 80 words per minute for 10 minutes. Start. A bare perusal of the aforesaid sub-rule shows that when the respondent had failed to submit the explanation to the charge sheet, it was incumbent upon the inquiry officer to fix a date for his appearance in the inquiry. It is only in a case when the government servant, despite notice of the date fixed, failed to appear that the inquiry officer can proceed with the inquiry ex parte. Even in such circumstances, it is incumbent on the inquiry officer to record the statement of witnesses mentioned in the charge sheet. Since the government servant is absent, he would clearly lose the benefit of cross-examination of the witnesses. But nonetheless, in order to establish the charges, the department is required to produce the necessary evidence before the inquiry officer. This is so as to avoid the charge that the inquiry officer has acted as a prosecutor as well as a judge. Inquiry officer acting in a quasi-judicial authority is in the position of an independent adjudicator. He is not supposed to be a representative of the department or disciplinary authority of the government. His function is to examine the evidence presented by the department, even in the absence of the delinquent official, to see as to whether the unrebutted evidence is sufficient to hold that the charges are proved. In the present case, the aforesaid procedure has not been observed. Since no oral evidence has been examined, the documents have not been proved and could not have been taken into consideration to conclude that the charges have been proved against the respondents. Apart from the above, by virtue of Article 311(2) of the Constitution of India, the departmental inquiry had to be conducted in accordance with rules of natural justice. It is a basic requirement of rules of natural justice that an employee be given a reasonable opportunity of being heard in any proceeding which may culminate in a punishment being imposed on the employee. When a department inquiry is conducted against the government servant, it cannot be treated as a casual exercise. The inquiry proceedings also cannot be conducted with a closed mind. The inquiry officer has to be wholly unbiased. The rules of natural justice are required to be observed to ensure not only that justice is done, but is manifestly seen to be done. The object of rules of natural justice is to ensure that a government servant is treated fairly in proceedings which may culminate in imposition of punishment, including dismissal or removal from service. This proposition can be illustrated by a large number of modern cases involving the use of undisclosed reports by administrative tribunals and other adjudicating bodies. If the deciding body is or has the trappings of a judicial tribunal and receives or appears to receive evidence ex parte which is not fully disclosed or holds ex parte inspections during the course or after the conclusion of the hearing, the case for setting the decision aside is obviously very strong. The maxim that justice must be seen to be done can readily be invoked. In our opinion, the aforesaid maxim is fully applicable in the facts and circumstances of this case. As noticed earlier, in the present case, not only the respondent has been denied access to documents sought to be relied upon against him, but he has been condemned unheard as the inquiry officer failed to fix any date for conduct of the inquiry. In other words, not a single witness has been examined in support of the charges leveled against the respondent. The High Court, therefore, has rightly observed that the entire proceedings are vitiated, having been conducted in complete violation of principles, natural justice, and total disregard of fair play. The respondent never had any opportunity at any stage of the proceedings to offer an explanation against the allegations made in the charge sheet. This court, in the case of Kashinath versus Union of India 1986, had clearly stated the rationale or the rule requiring supply of copies of the documents sought to be relied upon by the authorities to prove the charges leveled against a government servant. In that case, the inquiry proceedings had been challenged on the ground that non supply of the statements of the witnesses and copies of the documents had resulted in the breach of rules of natural justice. The appellant therein had also requested for supply of the copies of the documents as well as the statements of the witnesses and preliminary inquiry. The principle of law says that a government employee who is facing any departmental inquiry is entitled to all the relevant files, statements, documents, and other materials which could help him to have a reasonable opportunity to prove himself not guilty of the charges so framed against him. It is his right to get copies of all the documents available.